The Chiefs started out the 2024 season with the goal of getting back to the Super Bowl in hopes of becoming the first ever NFL team to three-peat. Now, 19 games later, 22 including the preseason, Patrick Mahomes and company are right on track. The only thing that could potentially stand in the way, well, that would be the Philadelphia Eagles, coincidentally, Coach Reid's former regime. It's time to talk all things Super Bowl 59 and how the Chiefs continue to write history. What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Happy Tuesday. I'm Hayley Lewis, and this is Chiefs News Daily. Back here in Kansas City. Getting a little bit of a break here, but gearing up for a very busy next couple of weeks as the Chiefs get ready to head to New Orleans. Now, this is going to be the fifth trip to the Super Bowl in just 6 seasons. Kansas City, of course, is the only back-to-back champ to ever make it to their third consecutive Super Bowl. So, lots on the line here. We're going to check in with the team, get a little bit of a preview of the Chiefs and Eagles, and much more. But first, like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel, and let's get this episode rolling. All right, first off, we check in with head coach Andy Reid. He spoke with the media earlier this week as the Chiefs prepare to kick off their Super Bowl prep. Now, Reid wraps up his thoughts on the AFC Championship game against the Bills and how excited he is for his players. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, I mean, I like to teach, and I think if you're going to be a coach, you got to be a teacher first. And there's a lot that goes into that. It's not just knowing your stuff, but how it's presented and the trust that you have in the guys, and then the work that goes into each play. I mean, the detail and work and that these coaches put in, I think is important. But when we see success, we enjoy that. I enjoy that. I enjoy seeing the guys go out and do something good. I'm happy for them because I know the time and the effort that went into it. And there's an aptitude part of that, you know. I was actually talking to his mom about that after the game. I mean, the kid every week has just gotten better and better and better, and he's really put together a nice half of the season, the second half here. Not that he didn't have good plays in the first half, but you could see he was learning in the first half, and the quarterback was kind of learning where he was going to be and how he was going to get there, and then against all these different coverages that teams throw at you. So it looks like they're on the same page, and you know, they'll have a big challenge this week or this next in 2 weeks with the Eagles. Their secondary, they've got a real good secondary there too. Yeah, phenomenal player. Had a phenomenal night last night. You know, there's no change in him as you go. He comes in competitive. He's going to finish competitive right down to the end. The pressure part of it, when things can dilate you a little bit, when things are tight, don't do that to him. He kind of flourishes in those moments when they're the toughest, and he's wired that way. And I'm sure growing up in a locker room with his dad, you know, and was a big part of that, or at least a part of it. But some of it is just, you know, innate, that's given to you. And he's one of those guys. The tighter the situation, you know, the looser he plays. I think the guys, they kind of thrive on that. I look at Chanel, and he goes out, the Texans game, he goes, I'm gonna block the field goal. He tells Tobe that. Tobe goes, let's go. We can get he goes, no, it's done. I mean, that's kind of the attitude that these guys have. And it's not just him, it's all these guys. And so when given an opportunity, they've stepped up in those situations. And you know, as a coach, you love that part. And you know that's a rare thing. I mean, it's these games could have gone either way, and no different than last night. And guys, they take so much pride in stepping up, and they don't shrink in those situations. David, Donald, Joe, I mean, all these coaches, Brendan. I mean, they're all in with Spags. They know the scheme like the back of their hand. Spags got confidence in them, and then the players have confidence in their coaches and Spags. And so they want to learn the system. That's a tough system, Matt. So you got to stay focused during the meetings. You got to detail it at practice. You got to detail the walkthroughs that you do. meetings on the field, and then most of all, you got to execute it on game day. But there's that trust, that whole foundation that you built with the trust, and these guys, they've got that, and then likewise, I've got the confidence in Spags, and in certain situations, I just know he's gonna. I don't ever run over to him and go, "Hey, let's not do that or this." I've got enough confidence in him to been around him long enough to know he's gonna make the right call for the right time. I love that part. I went around all those guys, man. I was so happy for him, and just seeing Kareem standing there going, "Wow, this is unbelievable," or DJ jumping up and down, who's been in this league a while and been through a few things, or DeAndre, man, he had a smile on his face. It was a mile wide. So, I mean, all those things. P. Ryan goes and helps seal the game for us. New addition, and all that stuff is great. I mean, that's why you do this. That's why you do this as a coach. I mean, it's just to get to see those guys achieve like they've achieved here.
Now, today, the Chiefs announced that they're going to be wearing their white jerseys for the Super Bowl. Now, according to ESPN, the Eagles had the choice of the jersey color, given that they are technically considered the home team, with the February 9th game being played in New Orleans at an NFC host market. Now, they opted for their home green jerseys, the same color they've worn in all of their previous 4 Super Bowl appearances. Philadelphia is 1-3 all-time in the big game. 2 years ago, the Chiefs recorded a 38-35 victory over the Eagles in Super Bowl 57. That was in Glendale, Arizona. Now, the Chiefs also wore white in their 35-10 loss to Green Bay. That was in the first Super Bowl. Kansas City is now vying, of course, for its 3rd consecutive Super Bowl title. The Chiefs wore their home red uniforms last year in a 25-22 overtime victory over the San Francisco 49ers. But according to Yahoo Sports, out of the previous 58 Super Bowl teams, 37 teams wearing white have gone on to win the game. That's a success rate of 64% compared to 36% for non-white jerseys, with 21 winning teams. Most recently, 16 of the last 20 champions wore white, with one of those 4 losers being the San Francisco 49ers last year against the red-wearing Chiefs. All right, let's quickly roll through a little bit of history between these two teams. Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles have played a total of 11 times. The Chiefs lead that series 6-5. Now, Super Bowl 59 is going to become the 9th repeat Super Bowl matchup in NFL history. The last time these teams met in the big game was back in 2022, the season, technically 2023. Kansas City won 38-35. Now, both teams obviously changed a lot since then, so we're going to break it down more later this week. But Chiefs head coach Andy Reid is headed to his 6th Super Bowl appearance, 5 with Kansas City, once with Philly, tying Don Shula for the 2nd most behind only Bill Belichick, who went 9 times. And for quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, going in this game, will tie John Elway with the 2nd most Super Bowl appearances, with 5 for a starting quarterback.
Yeah, well, those receivers are been in the offense now for a while, and they've got good tight ends, they've got good receivers. I mean, real good receivers, and they've got a running back that, arguably is one of the best in the history of the game. So it's and their offensive line, for all those guys to work, their offensive line has to be good too. So, and then their quarterback is dialing it up right now. So whatever injuries he had early in the season, I mean, he's playing like crazy right now. So it's that's a heck of an offense and another huge challenge for us.
All right, folks, that does it for another episode of Chiefs News Daily. As always, you know the drill. We will be back tomorrow. In the meantime, we ask that you like and subscribe right here on the KCSN YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. We'll see you back here on Wednesday.